Alright, so gonna see, wait a little bit, make sure all the levels are good. Make sure the chat's working. What's up, Simon? Just getting everything set up. What is up, everyone? Essential worker. Hello, hello. Oh man, it's great seeing everyone already pop in right now. I was gonna give it a second. I gotta share the link on Facebook and whatnot. How's the levels sounding on your side? Music too loud? If the music's too loud, let me know. I'll turn it down. Just gotta get my link and whatnot. No, I might not even worry about it. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of a new setup. And I'll get into that with my 2021 stuff that I'm doing. Awesome, sounds great. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the show. Okay, usually I like to do a video, but due to certain circumstances, I decided to do a live stream. And, 2021 seems like it's going to be a really good year because I'm going to have an actual studio. I'm going to have more time to do things like this, not just videos. And, yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. So before I get into it, how was your guys' Christmas? You guys have a good Christmas? I know gaming guy, he got his Xbox Series X, which is awesome, which honestly that's what I've been kind of thinking about with the new generation. I think I'm going to start off with the Xbox Series X. Just because of like economically it seems to be the way to go with Game Pass. I want to get a PS5, but that might be a little bit later on down the road. I actually got to hold a Series X controller for Christmas. Hung out with my friend Mikey, and he's got a Series X controller for his PC, and man, that is a amazing controller. I haven't held the PS5 controller yet, but I hear it's also really good. But man, the Series X controller, I like the texture on the back. There's like some texture, and it really adds a good like grip to it. I really enjoy that a lot. Also, the music in the background, guys, is from Jason Heine. He put out a couple of albums that are all copyright free, so I don't have to worry about anything, bogging me down with copyright strikes. Because I had some Final Fantasy lo-fi music I was going to play in the background, but then I was like, I might get something with YouTube. Yeah, see, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do the Series S because, I mean, I like digital media. I mean, I like physical media too, but, I mean, I'm just thinking about progressing my content and not spending a whole lot of money while I'm doing it. I mean, I've always been about the do-it-yourself DIY sort of thing. Yeah, I thought the back of the controller felt really nice. It was like textured. It was really interesting. But I made some coffee. Got some coffee right now. But yeah, see, I originally was going to do a Christmas memories video. And I was going to do my top games of 2020. And the way I do my games of the year, I don't do them by like countdowns. I actually do them by categories. So that's what I was going to get into. I got a little notepad right here. Okay, so I have categories like biggest disappointment, biggest surprise, most addictive, best remake, most anticipated, and best all around. So getting into my biggest disappointment, which, mind you, yes, 2020 has been a very disappointing year, but we've gotten some really great games. Some really fantastic games. But my biggest disappointment for 2020, surprisingly, is 2 games. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 and Johnny Rocket. Now, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 is not a bad game. I did do a review of it. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was average, but it wasn't what I was wanting in a pseudo-spiritual successor retro Castlevania game. They added a lot of things that I did like about it, like the multiplayer was really, really cool. But it didn't have that magic. It didn't have the magic of Curse of the Moon, the first one. And maybe it was because when Curse of the Moon first came out, I was craving Bloodstained, because Bloodstained Ritual of the Night hadn't came out yet. So maybe I was a little bit excited about that, and Curse of the Moon 2 just didn't do it for me. I didn't like the tank, the big steam mech thing you played as that was controlled by a corgi. I really didn't like that, and I didn't like the fact that the characters really relied on certain puzzle elements that just felt so weird. But Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a really fucking good game. It's really good. I even played it on the Switch, and I'm seeing a lot of things that I've saw with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night that I see with Cyberpunk, where like Cyberpunk was just it's one of those games that I know people who've played it who enjoy it. I don't think it's a perfect game. That's probably been a lot of people's biggest disappointments, and I feel so bad about it because I know a lot of people personally that were excited about Cyberpunk 2077. My friend Sam at my job, I mean, we talked about it every single day. He'd come in and talk about it, and yeah, I feel so bad for him because he had a base Xbox One and it's unplayable. Hopefully the patches keep happening, but Time Spinner, I need to check that out. I have to check that out. I think that's another problem, Simon. I think that's another problem that I had with Curse of the Moon 2 is I'm low-key kind of burnt out of Metroidvanias. Metroidvanias is... so many games are Metroidvanias. Or roguelikes, which I will get into that too. Maybe that's why it turned me off a little bit. Johnny Rocket, though, is another disappointed game that I had, and I feel bad because the developers actually reached out to me on Twitter, and they were like, hey, you want to play this game? And I saw the trailer. I always look at the footage before I contact them, and it looked like a good game. It was a run-and-gun side-scroller, and it had like that 90s 2 kind of humor like Earthworm Jim. I was like, man, this looks like a lot of fun, but the game was really broken. It was so broken, and I felt bad because when I did a review, I didn't give it a good score at all. And, you know, I'm not that kind of reviewer that even when companies reach out to me, I will give them a good rating. Because at the end of the day, it's you guys that support me. You know, so I mean, if a dev team reaches out to me and it's not a good game, and I like, oh, it's great because they sent me a free game, you guys are going to call out the bullshit, and I'm going to get in trouble for it. So it is what it is. Not a good game though. I think it's like $6 on the eShop. It's on the Xbox One and Steam as well. I don't know if it's on PS4. But let me get back to this live chat so I can see everything that's actually going on right now. My chat window went away for a second. Okay, there it goes. So, getting back to my notes, I'm going to get into biggest surprise. And I said earlier I was going to talk about the roguelikes, and you know, that genre has been overused so much with indie gaming. Like, if I had a nickel for every indie developer that emailed me that was like, hey, you want to play this game? It's a roguelike. I wouldn't be worried about a $2,000 stimulus check right now. But, I mean, some games are done really well. Point taken would be Hades. Hades was a huge surprise for 2020. I heard about this game on a podcast, Axe the Blood God, one of my favorite podcasts. And they had a developer on there. They did a review of it, and they really talked up this game. And I remember seeing previews of it on a indie Nintendo Direct. Now I was like, okay, that looks kind of cool. But I decided to actually play it, and it is addictive. It's got amazing music. The dialogue is just amazing. But yeah, it was freaking crazy cool. So next up, let's see, Horus. Horus was also a big surprise. That game right there. It hold on one second, guys. All right. But anyway, Horus was a really good game. I saw an ad of it on Facebook, and it's a narrative that you're playing as this android who's trying to find out exactly who he is, and there's so much more to it, because he gets shut down and wakes up in then like this war, and it's just crazy. And it's a puzzle platformer, and it's got that mechanic where you go upside down, and I didn't know if I was going to like that, but it fits really well. Does really good. Hey, what's up? Death Becomes Her. Horus was really good. Horus was a really good game. It's got a lot of British humor, and it was one of my biggest surprises. I talked about it a little bit, and Play and Tell. I talked about that. No, it's not really like an NES game. It's more of it's pixelated, but I wouldn't say it's like an NES game. Yeah, that you're right. Yeah, what is it? Metal Storm, or Storm Metal, or something metal. That NES game that you're talking about, Wildfire. It's like that. It's really good though. I highly recommend Horus. And let's see. Most addictive game I had this year. I actually have two games. One would be Animal Crossing: New Horizons and Mario 35. Which is funny because Animal Crossing: New Horizons is probably the most played game I had this year, and I'm not even playing it anymore. It got kind of boring the last couple of months, but beginning of 2020, Animal Crossing, like many others, as myself, you guys could probably admit that Animal Crossing really helped out. I remember that's right when like quarantine first started happening, and we were all stuck at home playing Animal Crossing. It brought in a lot of sanity. But I'm not playing it right now. I even missed the present day or toy day, the Christmas thing. I thought it was going to be on Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve. So I went on Christmas, and like everyone had already gotten presents and stuff like that. So I did log on my birthday and got a couple of gifts from villagers and stuff like that. Animal Crossing is one of those games that, it's not for everybody. Not everyone likes Animal Crossing, and I can understand that, but it's a good game. I think it's a very wholesome game. It's like gaming soul food. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick in the chat, what was probably one of your most addictive games of 2020? I drink my coffee with just cream. I actually got Almond Joy creamer right now. The creamer has so much sweetness to it that I don't have to put sugar. It would be like almost overboard. I mean, it's like a light brown. Sometimes I drink coffee black though. Hades. Yeah, see, Hades was also a very addictive game because, it was like, what's up, Zach? How's it going, man? Long time no see. Hades is one of those games that, it is a roguelike, so you would die a lot, but you wanted to keep on going back. You're just like, one more game. And roguelikes, for me, sometimes when I keep dying, I get aggravated, and I just don't want to pick it back up. But Hades, I just wanted to keep playing it. And I like the fact that you would progress. Like if you die, you didn't lose everything. You use that experience to go through. And the story and characters. The story, I mean, the dialogue alone in Hades is so freaking good. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the guy who does the voice of the son of Hades, I can't remember his name. I think it's the same voice actor of Alucard in the Netflix Castlevania series, which got approved for Season 4. I'm hoping it's better than Season 3, because Season 3 was absolute trash. I did not like that season at all. So I'm hoping they go in a different direction. Oh, yeah. Also, my other addictive game was Mario 35, which is a shame because it's not going to be available after March 23rd. Like, that game has so much potential. I would love if they did some updates, even if they did like $2 or $3 DLC, so you could have like Super Mario 3 maps and Super Mario World. It's a really addictive Mario Battle Royale, and I'm not a big Battle Royale person. My most addictive games were, or biggest surprises were games that I didn't really play a whole lot, like genre-wise, like Hades and Mario 35. It's insane. I usually don't play Battle Royales or roguelikes, but I really did enjoy those two games. And next up on the list, let's see, Rune Factory 4 special for me, gave it another chance after disliking it initially on the 3DS. Still not as good as Frontier on the Wii though. I still need to play Rune Factory. Isn't that like it's like Harvest Moon but more RPG like? Yeah, Mario Mobile Runner was actually pretty good. Hey, if you like Mario Runner, there's a game on the eShop. It's an 80s style endless runner, and it's a lot of fun, and it's dirt cheap. I cannot remember the name of it though to save my life right now. I know that's terrible, but it's good. It's really, really good. Got like $2.99 on the eShop. I'm a sucker for cheap eShop games. But, yeah, getting into best remakes of 2020. We had a lot of remakes in 2020, and a lot of good ones. Did I play Messenger? Absolutely. Love Messenger. That was, what I liked about Messenger? I liked the fact that it started out as, an 8-bit style ninja game, and it was very linear, and then it turned to a 16-bit Metroidvania. That was really, really cool. The game's a lot of fun. Devolver makes really good shit. And they're actually making a RPG. They're making an RPG that's a prequel to The Messenger. Can't remember the name of it. They had a Kickstarter, and I believe it was funded, so I'm pretty sure if you go on Google and you put in Messenger JRPG, something will come up. But I'm looking forward to that. But, yeah, 2020 we had a lot of remakes. I think the one that really sticks out in my mind is, of course, Resident Evil 3. Isn't it weird? Okay, let's step back for a second. Isn't it weird that Resident Evil 3 came out this year, but doesn't it feel like it's been out a lot longer? Like this year, 2020 has felt like a long month, but everything's just been passing us by. Like I was going over a list of games of 2020, and I was like, shit, that came out this year. Like, it's so weird. Like, concept of time is non-existent. But yeah, Resident Evil 3 came out in April, which makes sense because that's when everything was getting all crazy. I liked Resident Evil. I know it was a shorter game, but then again, Resident Evil 3, the original, was a short game. And I really enjoyed it. I wish they would have done a little bit more with Nemesis, though. What's up, Alucard? How's it going? I wish they did a little bit more with Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 Remake, because he wasn't as scary as Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. Like, I thought, when Resident Evil 2 came out and everyone was freaking out about Mr. X, I was like, wait till you get a hold of Nemesis. Wasn't as bad. Wasn't as bad. Again, guys, the background music's from Jason Heine. Check out Heine House on YouTube. Really awesome guy. If you guys you ever try Fighting Rage, actually, yes, I did a review of it. Fighting Rage is probably one of the best beat 'em ups I've played in quite some time, and now they have a physical for limited run that's coming out. It's gonna be really, really awesome. If you haven't played Fighting Rage yet, you need to. And it was only made by two guys. One guy did all the programming, another guy did the soundtrack. It's a really awesome team out of South America. Man, Fighting Rage, Streets of Rage 4, River City Girls, top-notch beat 'em ups. Top-notch. I know I would have a lot of people, I would tell so many people to play Fighting Rage, and I think it was the price. The price scared a lot of people off, because I believe it was a $24 indie. You know, when indies are that expensive, some people don't want to play it. It was a little grindy. River City Girls, I mean, for what it was, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite out of the three. If I had to pick like a top three, it would be like Fighting Rage, Streets of Rage 4, River City Girls. The Streets of Rage 4 was a huge surprise. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. It was awesome, though. I wish it had a little bit more Yuzo Koshiro music, but the music that it did have was really, really good. But yeah, Resident Evil 3 was a lot of fun. Stranded Deep. I don't think I've heard of Stranded Deep. Is that's a PC game? Because I'm doing that a lot more this year. I will say, 2021, I will be playing a lot more PC games. Because I have a really good laptop. I'm not getting the Series X or PS5 anytime soon. So I'm going to dive into Steam. And I'm going to probably dive into more of the Switch. Oh, it's free on Epic right now. Huh. I will have to try that. It's going good, man. How was your Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas? I did get one thing for Christmas, and I'm probably going to talk about it more in the next episode of Play and Tell once I get my new studio set up. My friend Mikey got me the Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch. Oh my gosh. Merry Christmas, Retro Bro. But yeah, I got the Ring Fit Adventures, and I'm kind of excited to try it. I'm excited to try it out. I know my nephew, he's going to spend the night on weekends. I'll have him probably play that and wear himself out before he goes to sleep. Because, you know, he's like 8, so he's got full of energy. But here, play some Ring Fit. He's actually playing a lot of Monster Hunter right now. This kid is like 8 years old, but he's playing games that I wasn't expecting. Like, he's beaten Breath of the Wild twice now. Wolf Among Us was so good. So good. And yes, I wish Fighting Rage had online play. I feel like if Fighting Rage had online play, a lot more folks would have played it. That sounds really, really good. Build rafts and shelters and kill sharks. There was some game that came out this year that you played as a shark, if I'm not mistaken. He is addicted. You know, it's so funny. Like, he got Monster Hunter, and he stayed upstairs and played. I went on my Switch, because he's on my Switch. He's already played like 8 hours of it. Maneater, that's what it was. That's the shark game. My co-host James, he loves sharks. He loves Jaws, and he really liked that game. I need to play that. I like Jaws on the PS2 and Xbox. That was a really fun game. But yeah, he's all about some Monster Hunter. It was so funny because I was up there watching him play, and he was, you know, going off and fighting monsters, and he was just like, oh man, this monster's spawning, I can't go over there, I'm going to aggro this one. And I'm just like, holy crap, man, you're 8 years old and you're using all this like gaming lingo, you know. But I still think of my nephew as like the little kid who tried to play Mario Kart, and he's getting older now. They grow so freaking fast. I'm telling you, if I have any parents or any uncles or aunts on this chat, I think all of you can agree that kids grow up way too damn fast. It's insane. We start having like deep conversations and you're just like, holy shit, how do you know all this? What's up, Nick? How's it going, man? Happy holidays. Oh, Cannon Spike. Dude, I have this right here. Let me show you. I have this right here. It's my external hard drive with my Dreamcast ISOs, and Cannon Spike is on it. Because I'm not home right now, so I've been playing a lot of emulation, and yeah. Holy shit. I can't even process when my nephew turns into a teenager. I can't process it. Now, with Fighting Rage, because it doesn't have online, I'm pretty sure maybe if you were playing on PS4, you could maybe do share play. But the only thing about that is, internet connection. Yeah, I mean that's true. My laptop's good. I don't think it's. There's a couple of new games that kind of struggle with some of the newer games. Like I found a copy of the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I couldn't run that on my laptop. I ran it on low settings. It still kind of lagged a little bit. So I'm eventually going to get like a PS5 or new Xbox in time. No, I'm not spending my... If we get a stimulus check, I'm not spending my stimulus check on a new console. I'm not doing that. So don't even bother asking. I'm not doing that. There's a lot of stuff I got to take care of first. I have to try that website out. Because I'd love to play some old school fighting games online. Like Mark of the Wolves. Oh man, that would be so much fun. Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's $2,000 to put towards real life. See, that's my thing. With the, I'm gonna wait on the new gen, and you know what's crazy about it is new gen's only like a month old, but doesn't it feel like these consoles have been out a lot longer? But at the same time, it doesn't. I think it's the 2020 time perspective. I would rather get a PS5, like say next year. Get a PS5 next year and get like all these games dirt cheap. Because you know Dark Souls next year is going to be like a $20 or less game. Miles Morales will be like a budget game, you know. Let me say this, John. I've seen some of the stuff on the Amico. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people that were very skeptic. I've always liked Tommy Tallarico. I've always felt, you know, he's been a great musician, but I wasn't sure, you know, because we've gotten bit in the ass so many times with, you know, the Coleco Chameleon or the Atari right now. That I was kind of apprehensive, like many, but I think once it comes out and people see what the Amico and television is going to be, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited about it. And plus, I love Tommy Tallarico and Electric Playground. and Candace, you're right about that, because when it all comes down to it, the only games that really hold value are first-party Nintendo games. Very seldom you'll see a Sony or Microsoft game that keeps its value. So all these PS5 games that are coming out next year are going to be dirt cheap. They're not going to be hard to come by at all. So I mean, but then again, Breath of the Wild for the Switch is still a $40 game used. Tommy is a gamer. He's a huge gamer, and he's an awesome musician. He's been in the industry for years, and I think he's got so much going for him that when you think about it realistically, this guy wouldn't throw gamers under the bus. You know, I really think he wouldn't do that, because that would just be a financial disaster for him, you know. So, I mean, because he is a gaming composer. I mean, you think about it, if he was to piss all these gamers off and he wanted to do music for another game, or, you know, do something like that, that's like going to blacklist him. So there's a lot going into it, so I'm hoping the best success for him. I still need to play Overcooked. I heard Overcooked was a lot of fun. I have what was that? It's like a Brigade something another cooking game I have on Steam. I haven't played yet. I loaded it up, but I haven't played it yet. It's like another cooking kind of game, kind of like Overcooked. I think it's a little bit more story driven. But where were we? See, this is why I like doing the live stream, because yeah, I would have already been done making a video by now, but I like being able to talk with you guys and converse. And I think the last thing I talked about was Resident Evil 3. So I guess when it comes down to another remake, I want to talk about Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana is not a perfect game. It's got a lot of issues, especially on the Nintendo Switch. I would say if you want to get Trials of Mana, get it on the PS4, because the Switch had some major issues, like real-time renders. Oh man, I'd be like on the ship going to an island, and it would just look blank, and all of a sudden you see everything pop up. It was a good game, but it was probably the weakest out of my favorite remakes. Trials of Mana. And another remake I wanted to talk about that it's like everyone was excited about, but I felt like no one bought and no one talked about, was Panzer Dragoon. The remake of Panzer Dragoon for the Nintendo Switch, and it's on PS4 now. That was a pretty good remake. It wasn't bad. I think it was like $10, I believe. I'm a huge Panzer Dragoon fan, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I really enjoyed the remake. I believe you can unlock the original if you like beat it on hard or something like that. And then getting into my most anticipated game of 2020, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Another remake, but man, sometimes I think, here we are, having a Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, you're right, Medieval. That was a remake in 2019. I still haven't played that. Oh, wow. You can unlock the original. See, I like that about remakes. Like, when you get those remakes that you can unlock the original. And another great example of a fantastic remake would be Wonder Boy and Dragon's Trap. You push one button, and it would go from the remake to the Master System, or even the Halo remake of the first one. You had a button that you could push and go to like the OG Xbox and the Xbox 360. I thought that was really awesome. I love it when games do that. But I'm really excited about Episode 2 of Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was pretty good. I really liked the battle system. The dungeons were a little, I like how they fleshed out the characters a little bit. Midgar was really, really awesome. Kind of got some Yakuza feels with some of the side quests. But it was amazing. It was better than I expected. That was one of those games I was just like, man, if this isn't good, this is going to suck if this is not good. But they pulled it out of their ass and they made it good. And we've been waiting for this remake since 2015. So I'm glad it came out really well. Let's see. And then let's go through some of my notes. Okay, I'll talk about a game that I wish I played in 2020, and that is Ghost of Tsushima. I still need to play that. That game looks amazing. I got a 4K television this year, I got a 4K television this year, and that's one of the games I want to play so bad as Ghost of Tsushima. The fact that you beat Dark Souls 3, though, I think you get a pass for games finished in 2020. Oh, dude, a Final Fantasy 4 or 6 remake would be amazing. Okay, Final Fantasy 6 remake with Mark Hamill doing the voice of Kifka. Let's make it happen. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be great. Final Fantasy 6 and 4 definitely need remakes, though. And I still love Final... I don't think they should remake Final Fantasy 9, though. It's fine for what it is. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, like, my God, I saw some of the footage of it that people were uploading, and I was just like, oh my God, I need to play this game. You're not wrong, Zach. Final Fantasy VI is the best in the entire series. That's probably my favorite Final Fantasy of all time, next to, like, 9. I love 6 and 9 the most. But I'm going to get Ghost of Tsushima when the price drops a little bit. I'm definitely going to pick that game up. And best all around, my best all around 2020 game. Okay, guys, it shouldn't surprise you. Yakuza Like a Dragon. This game, oh my God, you guys know I'm a huge Yakuza fan. I love the Yakuza series. Like a Dragon, JRPG. RGG Studios reinvents the wheel. You know, takes this, you know, game that got really popular after 2016. Like, we were getting 2 games a year. You know, we had Zero, Kiwami, Kiwami 2, Fist of North Star, Judgment, the Yakuza Collection, Yakuza 6, all since 2016. And I have to admit, I was getting a little fatigued. I was getting a little tired of it. So Like a Dragon was a breath of fresh air. They really pulled off the turn-based combat. It's got a great story to it. It's got some great side quests, and it's old school JRPG goodness. Like, it definitely has its inspiration from games like Dragon Quest. So much so that you change your jobs. You change your jobs. You have to go to, like, Hello Jobs, which is like the unemployment office, to change your job. That's very Dragon Quest. Yeah, John, I remember you couldn't get into the Yakuza series too much, but it's a good game. It's not for everybody. It's not a game, like, the Yakuza games are not games that you can easily just pick up and play. I will admit that. There's a lot of cinematics. I mean, Like a Dragon is very cinematic heavy when you first start the game. So if you're one of the folks that just like to get into a game and start playing, Like a Dragon is not going to be that game. But it's a good game. It's a good game. I get that way too sometimes. I don't always like... Sometimes games that have like a long story, a long tutorial, and people tell you, oh, it gets fun after you've played it for 5 hours. Those games sometimes intimidate the hell out of me because I don't have a whole lot of time. And I want to play those games, but I can't do it sometimes. I haven't played Urban Reign. Sounds familiar, though. I remember when I worked at Babbage's back in 2005, and the original Yakuza came out on PS2, and I remember we just all thought it was like a Japanese Grand Theft Auto, because, you know, Grand Theft Auto was really big. You had games like True Crime, and Yakuza came out of nowhere. It was like, oh, it's another GTA clone. Remember that horrible Rockstar game, State of Emergency? Oh God, that game was horrible. Judgment was really good. The only thing I didn't like about Judgment was the missions where you had to follow people. I hated the following because it was so slow. just want to get through those. Yeah, you can't really, I mean, the GTA games and Yakuza are very, very different. GTA games, I don't know. Those games are like fun for a little while, but I never actually went through the story of Grand Theft Auto games. I'd end up finding codes and do things like shoot people with rocket launchers, and that gets boring after a while. Yeah, the tracking people was terrible. I did not like that. I did like the drone racing though. Drone racing, holy crap! That was like, it was like playing F-Zero. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm just checking on the stream, making sure everything's good. So I've already went through my list, guys. My list of games. There's a lot of more games that I still need to play that I haven't played this year. A lot of shit that came out. I still need to play Persona 5 Royal. And I'm thinking about 2021. And my mind's blank. My mind's blank thinking about 2021 games. What are you guys excited about coming out in 2021? I know Final Fantasy 16 is supposed to be coming out. I think so. Yeah, I will look into that, Wildfire. Parsec.gg. I'll probably check that out tonight, actually. I'll probably check that. Yeah, 2021, like, there's some games slated that are being worked on, but with the whole pandemic, there's no telling when these games are going to be coming out. I'm really surprised that they tried to say that Final Fantasy 16 was coming out in 2021. I doubt it. Sons of the Forest. What is that? What game is Sons of the Forest? Yes, a new Silent Hill and Castlevania game. That would be awesome. I heard Kojima was supposed to be coming out with a new horror game. Then again, we don't know. I think he would do a good job. I mean, Silent Hill's had a lot of promise to it. Silent Hill. Who would make a good Silent Hill game? I am not sure. They should just bring back Team Silent. Bring them out of whatever they're doing. Konami, just like, here's some money. We need to bring back Team Silent and make a new Silent Hill game on next gen. That would be awesome. Oh, Pokemon Snap. Isn't that coming out 2021? New Pokemon Snap? Ooh. So it's a sequel to The Forest, survival game where you kill cannibals and build shit, make traps and kill cannibals. You like a lot of these survival games, don't you? Yes. Well, okay, you can get a physical release of Strider, but it's only on PS3, and you have to get it from PlayAsia. I don't know if it's still up, but yeah, it's on PS3. The Strider was really good. The remake to Strider was awesome. Speaking of remakes, speaking of new stuff, the new Ghouls and Ghosts. I'm excited about that. You are right. It's not every day you kill cannibals. Oh, it's so good. I got Strider back when it was on the PS Plus. It was a PS Plus free game. I got it. No, it was on sale. It was like $5 on PS4, and I'm like, oh, why not? Really surprised. They're coming out with all these Capcom arcade games on the Switch which I'm curious about, but I already got all these games, so I don't know if I want to buy them. What they need to do is they need to make these retro games, and they need to add some online co-op to them. Just add some online stuff, you know. You know, the new Ghouls and Ghosts, the remake makes me think of the PSP game. It looks a lot like that. And then there's that new Yacht Club game that's coming out in a couple days, actually. I believe 7th of January, and that looks incredible. I need to remember the name of it. Let's see. Let me look up the name. Give me 1 second. They're trying to give me sales for yachts. No, I don't want to buy a yacht. Okay. It's not shut. I mean, I can't believe this game's not coming up. I shared it on my freaking Facebook. But yeah, it's like a new Yacht Club game coming out January 7th. Cyber Shadow. That's the name of it. Cyber Shadow. That game comes out on the 7th. I believe it comes out on PS4 and Switch, maybe? But either way, look up the trailer to freaking Cyber Shadow. It's like a Ninja Gaiden Shinobi kind of game. Looks awesome. Amazing. Heard my phone go off, but it's in my pocket. But yeah, that's going to be... I think that might be the next game I get. I actually got a couple of games that I haven't even played yet. Like, don't get Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch. I made that mistake. My birthday, James sent me $35 on the eShop, and I went and bought Mortal Kombat 11 for $14. It is a horrible port. It is terrible. Okay, I get the Switch isn't as powerful as the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. I get that. And, you know, downgraded graphics, it doesn't bother me. Frame rate, though. This game has terrible frame rate. Oh, man. Wouldn't that be amazing if we got a new Darkstalkers game? Holy shit. Give us a new Darkstalkers. Give us a new Power Stone. And hell, go out of nowhere and give us another Red Earth. I would love to see a new Red Earth game. That would be amazing. It was like Street Fighter meets Primal Rage. Red Earth was a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I got Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch. Sucked horribly. I'm going to try to play it on my TV to see if it plays better docked than it does in handheld. No, I have not played No Man's Sky. Remember that game got thrown under the bus pretty hard. But I heard they really redeemed themselves. Like, I got a lot better, I hear. But I got Mortal Kombat 11. I got Ori and the Blind Forest. I need to play that. And I got this other game called Miles and Kilo, which is like a 2D sprite platformer. It's a lot of fun. I'm hoping that's what they do with Cyberpunk. You know, Cyberpunk, all the problems that I'm hearing about Cyberpunk sounds like what we had with No Man's Sky. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping that we get that with Cyberpunk. You know, a lot of people, they hate patches and updates, but this, my friends, is why I'm glad we have updates and patches. Because imagine the state of Cyberpunk 2077, but imagine that just being what it is. Like, once you get it, that's it. There's no updates, no patches. That's why a lot of old games back in the day were broken and they were never fixed, you know? So I don't mind patches and updates, especially when you got employees working 80 hours a freaking week with crunch time, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, guys, the background music, if you like the music, let me, I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put a link in the chat for the music. This is by Jason Heine. It's copyright free. You can use it on your streams. You can use it on your videos. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Really awesome guy. If you're old school and remember, you know, the All Gen Gamers podcast, Jason Heine, man, he was the audio engineer. So let's see. I'm gonna have a link to his channel so you guys can check it out. Boom. That's his channel there. You can go on the playlist and check out his music. He's got a lot of free stuff. This is the chillax hip hop beats one that he has. He's got another one that's called Cutting Edge. It's a little more high energy. He also has a podcast as well called Gaming Tech Podcast, which is a really good podcast. I enjoy listening to his stuff a lot. See, that's the thing. That's the thing is everyone I know who's playing Cyberpunk, other than the crashes and the glitches, they are loving the game. I know my friend Mikey, he's playing it on PC. Doesn't have a whole lot of issues, but he's loving the game. My other friend who's playing it on the base Xbox One, he says it's pretty bad. But what can you do? You know, hopefully patches will come out and people can enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah, I think Cyberpunk was one of those games. You get those games, okay? You get games like Cyberpunk. You get Mighty Number 9, No Man's Sky, Shenmue 3. These games that have such a huge caliber of hype that if it's not good, it's just going to be terrible. And I got so tired of just hearing everyone talk about Cyberpunk for like 2 weeks straight. I stopped watching gaming YouTube for a while because it was like every other video zone's like, hey, Cyberpunk. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about Cyberpunk. Speaking of gaming news, what about that KFC console? It's kind of scary that a KFC console's more powerful than the PS5 and Series X. And it warms up your chicken. I went and looked it up. I went and looked it up, and I thought it was a joke, but it's real. Apparently, they are sponsored by a PC making company. I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up. I'll probably talk about it more on our next episode of Excess Gaming Podcast. And it's legit. It's going to be $2,000, though. It's pretty much a high-end gaming PC. Yeah, thank you, Wildfire. Thank you. That's who it is. It's legit. This is a real thing coming out. A gaming PC that warms up your chicken, does 4K and 120 frames. The PS5 and Series X is struggling with that right now. And it can't warm your chicken. Yeah, let me do that right there. And a Wildfire, you were trying to share a link. It tried to put it as spam, but let me see. Wildfire 0, yeah. Landing.coolermaster.com/KFC console. Definitely. I can't believe they're coming out with that, though. It can play Cannon Spike. You put like Redream on the KFC console, Dreamcast simulation. So you'll be playing Dreamcast games, warming up your chicken. I wonder if you can do more chicken. I mean, to me, the KFC console looks like a giant air fryer, which I love air fryers. That's what it looks like. So maybe you can make more than just chicken. Maybe you can make some muffins, egg rolls, warm up your fries that you had last night. You know, $2,000 though. That's a lot. That's a huge investment. It's a huge investment. You mentioned Dino Crisis. You know what game I actually played for the first time I've never played before? Parasite Eve. I played Parasite Eve for the first time last month. Very short RPG. I actually made a video of fun yet short RPGs, and Parasite Eve was one of them, because you can beat the game in about like 9-10 hours, which is ridiculously short for a RPG. And it was really good. It actually aged really well. I was very surprised because, a lot of these games, when you go back and play them, they haven't aged well, but this one was really good. And I've heard that the second one's not as good, and I've heard that the third birthday, like the third one that was on the PSP, is not that good. So I think I'm fine with just playing Parasite Eve and just calling it a day. But this is something, I will say, guys, this is something that's going to be happening on the channel a lot more often. I will admit, I didn't always have a lot of free time to be able to do live streams and Let's Plays. I'm probably not going to be doing that many Let's Plays because I have to admit, I get kind of camera shy playing video games. But these live hangouts, I definitely want to do these more. I might even do like Excess Game Podcast. Might even do live podcast, as well as Blast Podcasting with Anthony. We're bringing that back as well. And I got a new studio, setting up everything. I'm going to probably have a new set coming up. So bring back the brick wall. You guys remember the brick wall? And bring that back. It's going to be a hybrid of like my brick wall background with the TV, with the gaming shelf, and the arcade machine. That's what I might do. Or I might just go full green screen, because I don't have the room to do it. Let's see, I'm going over my notes real quick. That's what I try to do. I try to always have a nice coffee cup in all my videos. I try that. I'll go to thrift stores, and if I see a interesting coffee cup, I'll get it. And the thing is, I'm very picky with coffee cups, like this one right here. This is one that, because I'm at my mom's right now. This is one of her coffee cups. I like the weight. I like a nice heavy coffee mug. Don't really like the handle too much, but it stores a lot of coffee. Some of those really cool coffee cups you see on like Etsy or like Redbubble, they're like really cool coffee cups, like the gaming cups. They're really small. Like my Castlevania one, it's a really small coffee cup. Not a fan of it. I like the cup, but it's too small for coffee. I've even tried to reach out to some of those companies that do like the gaming brews. Be like, hey, I have coffee cups in all my videos. I would love to do a sponsor for your coffee company. They never hit me up. They never got back up with me. Their loss. I'll just stick to my my Folgers. Roasted almond. Guys, I think I'm going to be wrapping up the stream Been doing this for about an hour now. And, thank you guys so much for coming on. Walmart coffee is great. I like Walmart coffee too. But I'm going to be doing this more often. I'm going to be doing live streams. I'd like to do one at least once a month. Kind of like a give you guys updates. Have some nights where I just talk to you guys. We talk about some games we've been playing and whatnot. So definitely stay tuned. Also, it helps my watch time as well because I still can't monetize my channel because I don't have enough watch time. So maybe this will help out with that, and I can actually make some sort of ad revenue without going out of my way and talking about Cyberpunk for a week straight, because that gets the views, right? Anyway, guys, hope you have an excellent evening, and hope you guys have a great New Year. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas. I will be back very, very soon. Have an excellent night, and as always, happy gaming.